Say the number again.
69.
What number? What number?
69.
My fault. What number?
69. Is that number funny? 69.
Yes.
It is the funniest number.
Fuck, I gotta think of a time
I
now.
took like two
The only time that came to my mind the second you said that is one time I was walking in my backyard and there was a giant ditch with a metal pole sticking outwards from this little ditch. And I was walking by it, being mental, and I slipped, and the metal pole kind of like hit me right in the middle of the chest, and like, let me tell you, that shit, like, oh my god, I mean, it didn't go through me or anything like that, but oh, that shit hurt, oh, and I was like 7 or some shit when that happened to me. And I did not feel the same after that shit. That shit was the most painful thing ever. That's the only time I could really think of.
So I used to play soccer when I was significantly younger. How did it go? Our coach always made sure that if we couldn't get the ball to the goal, just try to get it away from everyone else. Now, I remember one game, I had the ball, I was dribbling it on my way to the goal, and there was 3 people in my way. Now, I could have passed it to someone else, which was what I was going to do, so I look at the next person who's maybe 30 feet away from me to the right, and I tell them, hey, I'm gonna pass to you. They're like, all right, pass. I'm about to kick the ball, and out of nowhere, another dude from out of nowhere comes in, kicks me right in the knee. My knee just falls. I just fall.
Did you see your
My
knee move out of
kneecap was-
place? Like it was like
Oh yeah, it was
really
way
fucked
out
up?
of place.
Where was it at?
It was like on the side of my knee.
Oh
but,
my
like,
god, that sounds
as soon
painful.
as- It was, but like I just popped it back into place and we just kept playing.
Okay, so I was working as a roofer when I was 18. I was up on this big roof and like just nailing shingles down. And like an idiot, I went to get up to put my hand on my knee, but I placed a nail gun on my knee to prop myself up, and I slipped on the trigger and put a nail right through both bones.
Oh
And
shit.
I locked my knee into I locked my knee into place, like completely just went right through and like jointed them together.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And I was like 30 feet. I was like 3 stories up.
How'd you get down?
With the help of the fire department.
Damn, that's one hell of a story. Fuck,
I-
that sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, it hurt. The shock. I really didn't feel a lot of stuff. I kind of
Thank
just
God.
like blacked out.
Thank gosh for the shock, right?
Something. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't injure myself a whole lot, but I think probably one of my worst ones, excuse me, is either the time I split my foot open on a nail or I
Oh
broke
my
my
God.
thumb. Well, I'll start with the one where I broke my thumb. So I used to play football in high school, and it was in the preseason, and we were doing some drills for the preseason, kind of just, warming up for the season kind of thing. And we were doing this drill where I had to like basically start in a position and shoot up on the guy and hit him in the chest, right? And as I did that, I kind of undershot it, and my thumb hit the gear, his chest gear, and it snapped my thumb. However, I didn't know I had broken it. So I basically, don't get me wrong, it hurt like hell when I did it. So I got it wrapped up and put it on nice, but then I went on for an entire week living as usual without knowing it was broken. Until my hand started turning like blue and purple.
Yeah, that's usually a sign that you broke something.
And I was like, because for the longest time I thought that whole week I just really badly jammed my thumb or something. And then I was like, Mom, I don't think my thumb is supposed to look like that. So we went to urgent care, and they took an X-ray, and they were like, yeah, it's broken. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Well, and that put me out for the season, unfortunately, for football, but
Do you remember hearing like a snap or a crunch noise when you smacked it against the gear?
no, not at all. Not at all. I just know that as soon as I did it, my thumb hurt like a motherfucker. Like it was like almost like a debilitating pain. Like I sat there hunched over. Like I don't cry when I get hurt. I just get really angry and I curse a lot. But that almost made me cry. Like that, I was like, wow, I've never had my thumb hurt that much before. But you know. So yeah, and then yeah, basically kind of going with a week without knowing it was broken, kind of living as usual. Like it would hurt when I did shit, but I was just like, man, they're really bad jam thumb. And then okay, so yeah, the time that I split my foot. Now I was much younger when this happened. I was around like 4 years old, I would say, 4 or 5, and I was playing in my next door neighbor's backyard. Now, for whatever reason, at this point in my life, I did not like wearing shoes. I don't know why, but I was always barefoot
Sorry for my
pretty much
friends.
anywhere I went. And
I can tell.
so we were playing in the backyard, and I was running, and in their backyard they had like this large wooden kind of deck that led up to their shed, and then it would kind of lead into like a concrete area. And I was running on the wooden deck part, not knowing that there was a nail that was hanging out, that was sticking up from the boards, and my foot caught it, and I like tripped. Now, like, I didn't know what I tripped on, but I just sat there and I kind of crawled over to the concrete area after I fell, and there's like a steps and then like a ramp on the concrete, and I sat on the ramp, and then I was like, my foot feels weird, and I look down at my foot and I just see this trail of blood going down the ramp, and immediately as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no. Like, and then, you know, as a child would, you kind of start panicking because you think that you fucked
dying.
up, which I did. I was like, because I'd never seen that much blood before,
Oh, yeah.
so I was like really freaking out, and I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, like what's like, and then my foot obviously started hurting really bad, and then unfortunately my friend, he was inside his house, so I was the only one out there for a little bit, and all of a sudden, like, somebody who was visiting their house saw me in the backyard, and she came out, and she was, like, looking at my foot and like, oh my god, are you okay? And I'm like, do I fucking look like I'm okay? Like, fucking blood just everywhere. And she's like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna go get something. And then she goes back, and this bitch has the audacity to give me a Band-Aid and say, go on home. like what? How am
She
I
gave
gonna
you a-
walk home?
She gave you a fucking Band-Aid?
Yeah, and then I think finally my friend's dad came home, or I think they went to go to my house. I can't remember exactly how it went, but they carried me back to my house, and it was, my mom even to this day says it was probably one of the most fucking grossest things that she's ever seen. But basically, there was a hole in my foot, and there was like a chunk of meat hanging out of my foot, just dangling off my foot from like it bleeding and everything. And obviously they had to put hydrogen peroxide on it to disinfect it, which, talk about fucking pain. Like as soon as they put it on there, I felt like I was dying. I was sitting there like grabbing my dad's hand. I'm just like, oh my god, this is fucking, this is ridiculous. And like my mom said that like there was so much blood and it was just so gross that she like literally almost fainted. like like she was just like, I don't like get like easily grossed out, but like seeing that was just like really fucking like
Oh, really?
it was
Tell
too
me.
much. So they actually had to call my grandma to come to the house. And my grandma, she comes to the house, she literally takes that little chunk of meat hanging out my foot, pushes it back into my foot, and then they just wrap my foot up.
Sorry, I heard this and I'm like, what the fuck? A band-aid?
Yeah.
I know, right?
To a 4-year-old with a fucking chunk of meat hanging out of his foot. Yeah. So yeah, my grandma, she just takes that chunk of meat, puts it back in, and then just wrap my foot up. And they're just like, all right, well, just don't walk on that foot for like until it heals. And that's basically what I did. And to this day, I still have the scar where it was, and healed up fine. So
Wait, you
I
never
think
went to the
that's
hospital?
probably like, nope.
What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah. Never got infected or anything. It just healed up.
Dang, dude. That's
So
a
I guess in
crazy
that regard, I
story.
got lucky. But I don't know. But I think in terms of injuries, those are probably my worst too.
Okay. I one time was painting my nails and my toenails all black because I just got some new paint nail stuff, like. But then I realized that I got it wrong on my toenail, so I was like, you know what? I don't like
Don't need it.
this. But then I had a hangnail on my toenail,
Oh no.
and I wouldn't count this as a bad injury, but let's just say it's almost like I almost got into a bad injury.
Mm-hmm.
Still fucking hurted. So, as my stupid little brain was trying to think what to do, I was just, like, wait, why don't I just pull it off? Yeah, that was a fucking mistake. Ah! I started bleeding so hard from that toe. I felt like I was gonna fucking pass out because of how hard I ripped it. I just ripped it off like it was a piece of like sticky tape or some just. I just thought it was something you could just peel off and then it's done. Boom. No. Hangnails fucking hurt. They hurt.
They feel good.
I was screaming. I was like, Mom! Mom! I did not like it at all. I was like, Mom, I think I'm dying. I was actually saying, like, I think I'm dying. Because of how bad the fucking pain was. I was like, what is wrong with me? Why did I rip that? I could have just cut it off slightly, not ripped it. Oh my god, I was so fucking dumb. Luckily, I'm okay now, but there's still a little scar.
My worst injury.
Mm-hmm.
My worst injury is probably I was playing football, and like this big ass like lineman just like tapped me, and I like landed weird on my
Mhm.
arm, and yeah, I broke my arm
Well, like, how did you break it
Hurt.
though?
bad. It like when he was tackling me, I like stuck my arm out, and it
Mhm.
like snapped the other way.
Like the elbow or the shoulder?
Yeah, like my elbow snapped.
Ooh.
Make the noise it made.
Did it make
Like
a noise? Like, did you hear like like?
Yeah, I heard it pop. I look down
Oof.
and it's just dangling there.
Ooh, beer. Give me that.
That sounds painful.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's when I was biking and then I was going too fast and I tried to make a sharp turn. It didn't work out whatsoever and I just slid on the pavement.
Ouch.
Yeah, I
Your-
still have scars from it.
So, was like, describe to me how did it feel and like what your sides look like and stuff like that.
Well, I didn't really feel anything until I got home. I think the adrenaline of just being scared out of my mind
Mm-hmm.
was probably just still pumping through my veins. So
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't feel anything until I got home. Like, and then I'm like, ow. Yeah, no, this isn't good.
Yeah, I bet. Were you bleeding a lot?
Yeah, I was bleeding a decent amount.
Wow. Did your clothes get ripped by any chance from that? Like, did you
Oh
get
yeah,
like a...
most definitely.
How fast do you think you're going?
I don't know, probably like maybe like below 20,
Hmm.
maybe 20 kilometers.
No. Alright, go ahead.
I've never actually broken a bone, but the worst pain I've probably ever experienced is, and this is a little gory, so
Oh, go ahead.
I'm actually suicidal, like sometimes, and so earlier this year I had an attempt, and I like stabbed myself with a steak knife.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I did that, and I didn't really feel it at the time, but once the ambulance came and like it patched me up, like I could feel my arm just kind of losing itself. Like, and I think they said that if I hadn't called when I did, if I had waited 5 minutes, I'd probably be dead. But I've never
Oh.
really had anything worse than that. Like, I've never broken a bone or anything. That's the worst I've ever done.
Oh, I'm sorry that you're suicidal. I hope you get some help. I recommend it from
Yeah.
one person that has been in that phase and stage. Because I'm not saying it's a phase, but eventually it gets
Yeah,
better as long
I'm,
as you put in the effort.
and it does. It's hard sometimes, and I'm getting
Oh,
better right now.
There was one time where I woke up from my sleep and I was bleeding, and I was like, "It's like a nosebleed," so I didn't expect much of it because I'm used to them. And then it just carried on bleeding, and then it started bleeding a lot more, and then out my mouth, and then I lost so much blood that I had to go to the hospital, and that's about it, really.
What happened though? Why were you bleeding out your mouth and your nose?
The nosebleed was just so severe that it just like since I had my nose like blocked and shit with all tissue, it just started. It had to come out somewhere, so it started coming out my mouth because of the way I had my head held back. Because it was all like collecting at like the back of my throat, and then if I lean my head forwards, I could just have it all come out my mouth.
Oh my god! Did you wake up
Yeah.
choking?
No, it was very like minor at first. Is when I started like trying to sort out the nosebleed is when it got really bad.